This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States. I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act.
And while this action today is unsettling and unprecedented, I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past, that we're totally surprised.
First, shout out to the MSNBC graphics guy for the epic timing as Trump falsely claimed that crime is skyrocketing in DC as a means to justify his authoritarian tactics.
It's becoming a situation of complete and total lawlessness. And we're getting rid of the slums, too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live.
And second, after Trump spewed endless lies and disinformation while the entire clown show that he calls a cabinet nodded in sync like a bunch of empty suits, I want to direct your attention to the presser that the DC Mayor Muriel Bowser held in response. Mayor Bowser called President Donald Trump's move to federalize the nation's capital, quote, unsettling and unprecedented, before rightfully adding that she's not exactly surprised given the rhetoric of the past.
We know that access to our democracy is tenuous. That is why you have heard me and many Washingtonians before me advocate for full statehood for the District of Columbia. We are American citizens. Our families go to war. We pay taxes and we uphold the responsibilities of citizenship. And while this action today is unsettling and unprecedented, I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past, that we're totally surprised.
The President threatened to use not just the National Guard, but military, to bring the United States military, federal troops into the District of Columbia if needed. Can you respond to that threat? I mean, we're in uncharted waters already. A lot of people are seeing this as the first step in an assault on home rule, which the president has threatened. He's been making these threats since last year, and now he's carrying through with them. There's no reason to believe he won't go further. What do you say to the president about his threats to bring the military, not just the National Guard, but the military?
We don't, and I think I speak for all Americans, we don't believe it's legal to use the American military against American citizens on American soil. I'm not a lawyer, and but I think that's a fairly widely held fact. And so, but we've seen them move, I think, the active military into California. So it's a question. We've seen active military on the borders of D.C. some years ago, and we don't believe that our military should be used against American citizens. Yes.
Trump held a presser today where he reiterated his vow to crack down on homeless people living in Washington, D.C., which, unsurprisingly, according to the Daily Beast, happened after he saw people camping out en route to his golf course. The president took to Truth Social Sunday in his latest distraction, demanding homeless people leave the capital immediately before escalating his threats today. And it was during his ranting and raving that Trump claimed he wants to reduce violent crime in the nation's capital. This despite the fact that official federal figures show that violent crime in DC fell 35% between 2023 and 2024, and is the lowest that it's been in over 30 years.
The fourth weekend, a 3-year-old girl was shot in the head and killed while sitting in a car near the Capitol. It's becoming a situation of complete and total lawlessness. And we're getting rid of the slums, too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live. Caravans of mass youth rampage through city streets at all times of the day. There are ATVs, motorbikes. They travel pretty well. Entire neighborhoods are now under emergency curfews. Just this past weekend, gunfire went through, and you saw that, the Navy Yard. I saw it this morning. They saw that they fought back against, see, they fight back. until you knock the hell out of them, because it's the only language they understand. But they fought back against law enforcement last night, and they're not going to be fighting back long, because I've instructed them and told them whatever happens, they love to spit in the face of the police. As the police are standing up there in uniform, they're standing and they're screaming at them.
But I guess what does that matter when you need smoke and mirrors to distract from the ever-growing questions involving Jeffrey Epstein?
Capital, and it's going to happen very quickly. Thank you all. Thank you all very much.
Madam Attorney General, the Justice Department appealed the Epstein decision today, Mr. President.
And in the press conference, he took aim at other big Democrat-ran cities. Of course, he ignores the countless Republican-governed cities across the country with higher crime rates.
And we're going to have the same thing here. But then I'm going to look at New York in a little while. Let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's see. It's going to go pretty quickly. And if we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent. He's an incompetent man. And we have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. His family threw him out of the business.
And this is what Mayor Bowser addressed in her response regarding his rhetoric. And it doesn't take a pair of bifocals to see what's happening here, right? It's just another distraction, another pathetic ploy to appear strong and diligent as the walls close in. I mean, it's as obvious as someone literally taking to the roof of the White House in an attempt to distract from what's going on inside of it.
On the roof of the White House, he's taking questions, or he was just a few moments ago. Let's listen in, please.
Looking good, Peter. Are you going to pull up there? What does that mean? More ways to spend my money. Can you give us another phrase? We'll show you. It's just another way to spend my money for the country. Anything I do is financed by me, so you're not the way it's contributed. Just like my salary is contributed, but nobody ever mentions that.
But make no mistake, distraction or not, this is still so wildly dangerous. I mean, waging the military against your own citizens. What kind of leader does that again?
Well, he's referring to a provision in the D.C. Home Rule Act, which allows him to declare a police emergency relating to a federal matter. They haven't defined what the emergency is, especially with crime rates at a 30-year low in the District of Columbia. And he's deployed the National Guard. At least I'm happy to see that he acknowledges he has the power to activate the National Guard. That was what he refused to do 4.5 years ago when the Capitol and his own vice president and Congress were under attack by the mob violence that he unleashed against us. And he sat on his hands for many hours and then later asserted he somehow didn't have the authority to deploy the National Guard. That was a real emergency. This is not a real emergency. He was not asked to send in the National Guard or take over the police by the House or the Senate or the mayor or the D.C. Council. This looks to me like an emergency which is manufactured because of a public relations crisis relating to the Epstein file. He doesn't want to release the Epstein file, so he wants everybody to look in another direction.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.